Hey everybody, Scotty G here with ListenUp. Today's gonna be fun, man, because we got Ari Margolis back in the house. Ari used to work for us for years. Awesome guy. And he's now the North American sales manager for MiND²?
Western regional.
Yeah. Region sales manager for MiND². How's that working out for you?
It's awesome. It's such a great company. I used to love selling MiND² when I was working with you at ListenUp, and I've just always been a massive fan of the brand, and it's fun to be a very small part of the cool stuff that we're doing here.
Well, you definitely got in at the right time. Today we're here to talk about something really special. It's a brand new piece from MiND² called the 371, and Ari's going to give you a little bit more background on that piece.
Yeah, for sure. And before I do that, I want to back up and just talk about all of the things that are needed to make music happen on a really high-end, high-performance system, because it's a lot of stuff, right? We got our source, so our turntable, our record player, CD player, computer, phone with an aux cable, or maybe you have a dedicated streamer that interfaces with all the streaming service providers and makes it easy and comfortable to play that in your system. So after your source, you've got a DAC, a digital analog converter. You've got a phono preamp that takes that teeny little signal off of your needle on your turntable and boosts it up to a line level signal that's digestible. Then you've got a preamp that accepts inputs from all these different sources and controls the volume, super important. And an amplifier which sends voltage and current out to the speakers and makes the cones move to move air and create the sound of our favorite artists. So in a world where there's no budgetary or design or space constraints, and we want to build the best possible system, each one of those parts of the signal path gets its own separate box, right?
Right.
But in the world that we live in, where design and budget and all of these things are real world concerns,
Space.
It makes a lot of sense to consolidate that down. The key is to do that without compromising on sound quality. So starting with the North Collection that we launched in 2023, which is 6 units, 3 pairs in kind of a good, better, best scenario. Yep. Of 2 boxes each, and it takes all those different components and consolidates them in some really thoughtful ways that delivers truly stunning sound quality, without all the boxes. Now fast forward to today, and we're launching the model 371, which is a 1-box single chassis solution. Takes care of all of your streaming. It has our MiND² streamer built in, a very fine DAC, a really nice phono stage for your record player, a preamp with a volume control that is as refined as pretty much anything on the market, certainly at this price point and very much above it. And then it's got a 100 watt per channel Class AB amplifier that's going to drive your speakers like nobody's business. It's just an easy system to live with, and it's going to put a smile on your face every time you go to use it. So that Compass collection that we're launching with this piece is a brand new range of products that is designed to bring this MiND DNA, this North Collection DNA and technology, and distill that down into more accessible packages. And it's a beautiful package, isn't it? The casework and the lines on it are just gorgeous.
Gone are the plastic cheeks,
Yeah, gone are the plastic cheeks. It's all aluminum. Huge performance, affordable-ish for people who are interested in investing and building a system to deliver really high-quality music playback.
Yeah, and there's still MiND solutions down from this, for the guy that wants to break into this level of performance without spending, as much money as they may up spending over time. Mm-hmm. A lot of the North Collection DNA's in this. Mm-hmm. When you mention improvements of the North Collection DNA, can you say more about the design and the technology that's in the 371?
Yeah, so they put a lot of new tech into that North Collection. Kind of the biggest thing that we talk about is a new amplifier circuit that's based around an MDCA idea, MiND Distortion-Canceling amplifier. Every amplifier that's taking a small signal and making it big, there's going to be errors and distortions that are introduced in that process. So every amplifier needs some kind of error detection and correction. But if it's done the wrong way, it can cause other problems. It can cause time smearing issues. So this MDCA solution that they developed for the North series is an extremely efficient error detection and correction system that doesn't interfere with the signal path at all. It happens in parallel with the signal path, and then it injects a correction signal back in at the output stage of that. So it's a very, very clever design, very effective in delivering just utterly pure, clean, transparent power. So that MDCA amp circuit is hugely important. Something new that we have in a power amplifier here is we use our MHP power supply, which we've used really successfully in low current draw components like DACs and phono stages and preamps in the past. This is the first time we've implemented that in an amplifier product. And it makes a ton of sense. It delivers effectively limitless power reserves on the power rails to let the amplifier do its thing without choking it out. And it's far more efficient than a linear power supply. I want to be very deliberate. This is not a Class D amplifier. It has nothing to do with Class D. It's a Class AB design all the way. With the hybrid power supply though, we get a lot of the benefits and the speed and efficiency of a switch mode power supply without having to have this huge hot running toroidal transformer. Sure. Makes a ton of sense in a product like this.
That's incredible. This thing, this is not the first one-piece solution Moon's had out.
No.
The Ace is a piece that we've sold for years, quite legendary. This piece, though, seems to take the place of the Moon integrated amp and the Moon DAC streamer,
the 340i
and the 280D. Those two guys together, close to $10,000.
Yeah. So again, that consolidation, that smart consolidation without sacrificing performance. And as you move up the ladder, of course, it gets better and better.
And I think this sonically is a better solution than the 340i, 280D. My shocker is when I found out how much it cost.
Yep. Who's going to tell them?
$6,500. How's that possible?
We had a little Price is Right game when we were telling all the retailers how much it costs. And of course, that's a big chunk of change. But relative to the other stuff we're talking about, relative to the stuff that you have in the store that's close to comparable to a product like this, and with the feature set and the performance that it gives, it's a ridiculous price point for a product like this.
Yeah, I mean, when you guys get a chance to see this, put your hands on it, feel the remote. It's not a plastic remote anymore, it's an aluminum remote. All the chassis on it's all metal. The design work is, again, not what I expected for $6,500.
You get a lot for that. And every Moon product is backed by a 10-year warranty, which is pretty darn near unprecedented in our industry. So that's something that our customers really appreciate, is that when you buy a piece of Moon gear, hi-fi gear is typically not the best investment if you're trying to grow your money, but with Moon, you get that warranty, so you're set for 10 years. And we also have a really usable trade-up program where you buy a piece like this, and say a year from now, you get the itch for maybe expanding and going into those separates and getting even better performance. You get 100% back what you paid for this piece towards the purchase of a next level model that has the same feature set as this one here. And by the same token, if you bought an Ace or a 240i or something like that within a year, you get 100% of that towards the purchase of the 371 here. And even if you bought it 2 years ago, you get 75% back what you paid. So that's called our Reach for the Moon program. Between that and the 10-year warranty, we're talking about, it's still, I'm not going to tell you it's a great investment to grow your money, but there are worse ways to spend your money in this hobby.
Well, Bitcoin don't play music. Yeah, so, and it's true. I can tell you as a sales guy, countless customers have bought products from us and taken advantage of that trade-up program and have moved up. And it's not just a one-time deal. So you could start with a piece called the Moon Ace. You could move up to a 371. You could go from a 371 to a 390, 330A, 330A to a 791. Keep moving up. It only stops when you're at the top. So hopefully everyone gets there.
The promised land. But you guys in the Rocky Mountain region are really privileged to have an incredible resource here in Scotty and Ari, who's maybe the single greatest Moon advocate in the country, and ListenUp is just an invaluable resource with so many great brands. Other great components, not all about Moon. There's a lot of other great stuff out there, great speakers out there, and you come into a store like ListenUp and you can actually hear this stuff with, you know, different speakers, and you can interface with it and touch it and talk to a person who's going to help you get up and running with it. It's really a valuable resource, and you can't buy Moon online. It's all done through our brick and mortar retailers, and the reason for that is we want you, the consumer, to have the best experience possible with it and get everything you need and nothing you don't, and have the chance to actually make an informed decision on your hi-fi purchase.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fun part of our job, you know, is exposing people to great music. You know, how do I get there? It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. It can become a lot of money, but that's a choice for you guys to make. You know, coming back again to the 371, when Moon came out with the North collection, it was a collection of gear with a common design ethos, and it's proven to be hugely successful. Can you talk more about this new collection, Compass?
Yeah, so obviously it's no secret we're calling it the Compass Collection. It wouldn't be much of a collection if it's comprised of only one network player amplifier here. So there will be more coming down the pipeline from this Compass Collection. I don't even know exactly what that will be comprised of at this time, but it's easy to make some assumptions based on the, you know, there will probably be some separates, other components, who knows. It's anyone's guess right now, and you've been selling this stuff longer than I have, so you probably have a better guess than I do.
Well, you know, gone is the Moon Ace, you know, but we still have a bunch, so if you guys are looking for them, come see us. Gone is a legendary integrated amp called the 340i that was a 3.3i years and years ago, and has been a part of Moon's family of product for well over 10 years.
Yeah.
The 280D, you know, streaming DAC, that piece has been such a gateway drug to high-end audio for so many clients. Still in the line is the 390, 330A. Still in the line is the 400M. Still in the line is the 250i. Yeah, so the 250i at $2,500 for an integrated amplifier is a great step into this world. I would think that with the stuff going out, there probably would be a Compass collection replacement for it, you know, and that's half the fun, is waiting to see what's around the corner.
Yeah, and we do have an eye towards consolidating the lineup. There's a lot of models, there's a lot of boxes in there, and you know, we feel very strongly that the future of what we're doing in this hobby is based around thoughtful consolidation, and just making it easy and ergonomic to play music in your system.
You know, I know a question a lot of Moon owners will wonder, you know, when the 700, when the predecessor to the North collection came out, we went from a solution that was available in black, silver, and two-tone to one that's only two-tone. Compass collection, our color choices there are
silver and all black. And it's two-tone. The two-tone is obviously kind of a hallmark of the Moon look. I gotta say, the all black version of this is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, when they did the dealer video on it, I saw the all black version, and it's definitely sexy. I own a lot of Moon gear myself. I was drawn to the two-tone finish, you know, so
you can't go wrong.
Yeah, really. I'm glad to see that there. So now we got the business part of it out of the way, you know, let's talk about the fun. Let's talk about the experience. Have you had a chance to take this thing out for a test drive?
I have, yeah. I was giddy when it showed up on my doorstep. Of course, I plugged it in, do not pass go, and I played it on a pair of speakers in my living room that I'm obviously very familiar with, and I have never heard those speakers play with so much, well, first of all, clarity, so much detail. Even at low volumes, I'm noticing that I'm just hearing way more resolution and detail, and these speakers like when you crank it up.
Yeah.
And when you do crank it up, it is nothing close to shouty or aggressive. It's just, it has all that detail and resolution without being clinical in any way. It has this like meat on the bones, organic feel to it. First thing I played on it actually was this new reissue of Jimmy Smith, Root Down. It's a live recording, super kind of funky jazz funk from the 70s. It was recorded at some venue in LA that's not even listed on the jacket. And I mean, you can practically smell the cigarette smoke and the whiskey, and the bass just has this like plucky tone to it. The drums explode. And you know, try getting an experience like that from gathering around a Sonos speaker or like in wall or in ceiling speakers. It just doesn't happen that way. That's a great solution for background music, for musical wallpaper. Sorry, but when you're listening to music on purpose, you know, and you have a system like this, it's an entirely different experience of listening to music, and it can transport you to that place. Like I mean, you can close your eyes and suspend the reality of your living room and end up in the concert hall or the Smoky Jazz Club or whatever it may be. So it's a fun way of listening to music. What you got? What would be the first thing you play on this thing?
You know, I had the experience of 2 months ago maybe. One of our bosses came into the store with his family, and he's walking through the store showing everything, and we end up back in the high-end room, which is where we have the big Moon system at. And his son says, "Dad, play that David Essex tune." And David Essex is an artist, a rock and roll artist from the early 70s. The tune's called Rock On. You know, I've heard it forever, but I never heard it like I heard it in that room. Totally blew me away. I'm on my phone Shazamming it. I've added it to my playlist. I've played it at other places, you know, businesses and events and stuff, and it's a tune that just comes out of nowhere, and it's powerful, it's big, there's a lot of stuff going on. I think it would sound good on a car stereo, but when you have a chance to hear it on something proper,
you hear more deeply into it, and you get all these spatial cues and the textures, and the piano sounds like a piano. The synthesizer sounds like, you know, tickles the back of your brain almost.
It's holographic. It's like going from black and white to color. Yeah. Well, Ari, man, you know, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to come in and see us.
Thank you for having me.
This piece is super exciting. We'll have one on the floor soon. They're shipping.
Yeah, ListenUp's going to have them in all 4 stores, available to demo mid-October is what we expect.
Awesome.
So probably by the time this thing comes out, it'll be right around the corner.
We are taking pre-orders for it, so if you want to get in line, you know, call your sales guy, call ListenUp, come to us through chat or whatever. You know, this is going to be an exciting piece with the holidays coming up. I can see a few of these under a lot of Christmas trees and such.
That'll be a very nice Christmas present.
I want one for sure. Thank you guys for spending time with us. Be sure to like and subscribe. You know the rules. We got all kinds of cool content coming your way, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, man.
Thank you.